Governor Kevin Stitt vowing to veto all Senate bills. We'll tell you why. Plus, events this weekend close roads across Norman. Find out which ones to avoid.
And we've seen good amounts of rain this week, and we've got more rain on the way. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Catherine Liberta.
And I'm Bailey Coyle. We begin tonight with news out of the Capitol as Governor Stitt reveals his plans for future bills.
And with the 59th legislature's adjournment looming ahead, Sydney Wallace is live in the newsroom with more. Sydney.
That's right. Governor Kevin Stitt announcing his plan to veto any and all bills from senators who do not support his education plan. That includes plans for teacher pay raises and school choice tax credit. This all in an attempt to find a compromise for both the state House and Senate. In a letter to senators, Stitt says he, quote, cannot in good faith allow another year to go by without cutting taxes and reforming education. So far, Stitt has vetoed 25 Senate bills. That includes a bill that would have extended the OETA's authorization for 3 more years. The legislature can only override the governor's veto with at least 2/3 majority. Reporting in the newsroom, Sydney Wallace, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Sydney. New charges filed in the death of a 2-year-old Oklahoma girl, Oakley Snow. Prosecutors in Indiana say they have charged Snow's mother and her boyfriend in the child's disappearance and death. Investigators say they found a child's remains in a dresser at an Indiana home. Officials say they are still working to identify the remains, but believe it could be Snow.
Now, Catherine, it has been cloudy all week with all this rain we've been having.
It definitely has, Bailey. Let's go outside to meteorologist Sam Patterson, who is live on the South Oval. Sam, has the sun finally come out?
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of sunshine today, not very much though at all. As you can see behind me, very, very cloudy at the moment. Reason for these clouds though, well, I guess a good thing from these clouds is we've seen a lot of rain here in Norman and the state of Oklahoma. Behind me, we can see some puddles here on the South Oval, and these flower beds behind me are caked in mud. Over the last 24 hours alone, we've seen about 6/10 of an inch of rain here in Norman. As we move closer to Tulsa, that totals up near 1.5 inches of rain. If we head over to our rainfall percent of normal up in Enid, 108%, which means they're 8% over the average rainfall they get for this time of year. Those are very unprecedented numbers. These big rainfalls have been dropping a lot of rain on us here in Oklahoma, and we're not done yet. Tonight we have a small chance as we head into tomorrow and tomorrow night. We will see 100% chance of rain, meaning we are going to see rain here in Oklahoma tomorrow night. But Saturday, we could see some sunshine coming up. Eli will have the next wave of rain, but we will see some sunshine this weekend, and he will track out that next system. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Sam. With many large events happening this weekend, like the Norman Music Festival in Phillips Stadium, the city of Norman is preparing for traffic at these events. Now, the map on your screen shows suggested routes the city has laid out for those traveling. Those going to the music festival are asked to use the blue routes, while Phillips Stadium and other events should use the green routes. Now, there are already multiple road closures, including those already in effect. Those are highlighted in red. To see the full list of road closures, you can go to normanok.gov. And if you're attending the Norman Music Festival, later in the show, we'll have a full list of performers.
An OU instructor is hoping to preserve her native language and culture by teaching it to the next generation. OU Nightly's Addison Arthur shares the story.
Here at OU, there are a variety of classes you can take, one of them being the Cherokee Native Language. Students and professors are trying to keep the Cherokee language and culture alive here on campus. Professor Armour, who teaches the Cherokee language from level 1 to 3, says the language is her identity.
Cherokee language is important to me because it's my first language, and English is my second language, and my community that I come from spoke only in the Cherokee language.
Now, Professor Armour makes it her mission to teach OU students not only the language, but also her culture.
And I teach my students all the cultural, like the hands-on cultural projects like basket making. We play marbles and just different things that I show them.
The Cherokee language only has about 2,000 native speakers left, and most of them are 70 years or older. Students on campus say they take the course because it's fun to learn how to make baskets like this one, but most importantly, to keep the language alive.
Because some of it is withheld within the tribe and withheld in that dialect. So losing that language, you lose the bits of history and information that could be essential into figuring out.
To learn more about the Cherokee culture and how they are preserving the language, you can visit languagecherokee.org. Donadaga-ha'i, which means till we meet again. Addison Arthur, OU Nightly.
If you would like to learn more, reach out to a Cherokee language instructor.
The man accused of leaking classified U.S. military documents during his trial has yet to be decided. Spencer Plato tells us where the case stands and the rest of today's national headlines from the News Center. Spencer.
We are awaiting a decision from a federal judge over whether or not to keep the man suspected of leaking classified documents on social media behind bars during trial. Prosecutors say 21-year-old Air National Guardsman Jack Teixeira is a flight risk and has a history of making violent threats and owns of an arsenal of weapons. The judge says he is considering the arguments before making his ruling. As of now, Teixeira has not entered a formal plea. Carolyn Bryant Donham, whose accusations back in 1955 led to the lynching of a black teen, died this week at the age of 88. Emmett Till was beaten and shot to death by Carolyn's husband, Roy Bryant, and J.W. Millam after he allegedly whistled at Donham. Both suspects were dismissed of murder after Carolyn Bryant testified that Till grabbed and verbally threatened her. Her role in Till's death was reconsidered by a grand jury last year. A police manhunt continues for 2 inmates who escaped from a Mississippi jail. Officials say 4 men climbed out of the roof of the Raymond Detention Center overnight Saturday. Authorities confirm 1 inmate died in a burning building and another was arrested in Texas today. Bailey Catherine, authorities believe that the inmate that died in the building is suspected of shooting and killing a pastor while on the run.
Thank you, Spencer. Coming up on OU Nightly, a sickness is spreading underwater.
We'll tell you how this fishy situation might affect you. Plus, new rules are being put into place to keep a bacteria off of store shelves.
How the Department of Agriculture is keeping you and your food safe.
Tear through Oklahoma.
We have a tornado warning for Cleveland County.
The OU Nightly weather team was there before.
45 minutes away or less from these storms getting into campus.
During.
Plenty of people who, are living off campus. This storm is headed to you.
And after.
Again, sending news crews out to assess damage.
Always keeping the University of Oklahoma in focus.
Campus in the clear right now.
OU Nightly weather with Campus Weather Authority.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Oklahoma fishermen may have been noticing a difference in the appearance of their bass lately. Not much is known about the cause or effects of the virus. OU Nightly's Reed Lindsay has more on the story.
Fish can be carriers just like we can. You can have low-level flu virus, but not be actually infected.
Oklahoma bass are currently being studied for a virus that is affecting their appearance.
And if you're like me and you like to eat what you catch, you might be wondering, will this affect humans? I asked Mr. Sager, so you don't have to.
There's no reported cases of this group of viruses or from these fish transferring from humans, transferring to pets, anything like that. The fish are perfectly fine to touch, to handle, and also to eat.
Oklahoma fishermen are asking if this virus is transmittable to humans.
But yeah, there's really no human threat with this. It's just something that is relatively, I would say, minor, that can affect fish in terms of their pigmentation, and they get these really ink black, splotches on them.
If you catch one of these fish, Sager said it is important to take pictures and send them to the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, and it is okay to release the fish afterwards. At Lake Thunderbird, wetting a line, Reed Lindsay, OU Nightly.
You can submit your photos of any blotchy bass that you catch through the My Catch app.
Federal regulators are working to better prevent shoppers from taking home contaminated chicken from the grocery store. Snowforth has that and more in today's Health Beat.
This week is World Immunizations Week, and doctors say it's the perfect time to catch up on any routine shots you may have missed. Here's a list of some of the shots health experts recommend getting to protect yourself from potentially dangerous illnesses. And if you plan to travel out of the country this summer, there may be other vaccines you need to get, so be sure to check with your physician. And in an effort to prevent salmonella infections, the USDA is considering changes to limit the bacteria in some chicken products. According to the CDC, more than 1 million people get sick from salmonella every year, with nearly a quarter coming from poultry. The newly proposed rule would ban any product that tests positive for the bacteria from being put on store shelves. And for those who take melatonin gummies, new research reveals the sleeping aids may have a dangerous amount in them. The researchers found that 88% of the gummies tested were labeled inaccurately. They also found some products containing a mislabeled amount of CBD. Experts say consuming a gummy with extremely high levels of melatonin can be dangerous and have side effects. And according to the FDA, it is illegal to market CBD by adding it to a food or labeling it as a dietary supplement. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Snow. The Norman Music Festival is back this weekend.
And we'll have the full lineup coming up after the break. And I definitely have gotten some good use out of my rain boots this weekend.
Me too. And meteorologist Eli Millard is here to tell us if we can put away those boots anytime soon. Eli?
Yeah, hey, check it out. We're dry right now, but not for long. I'll tell you who sees rain coming up.
To Sofia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Evening tornadoes tear through Oklahoma.
We have a tornado warning for Cleveland County.
The OU Nightly weather team was there before.
45 minutes away or less from these storms getting into campus.
During.
Plenty of people who, are living off campus. This storm is headed to you.
And after.
Again, sending news crews out to assess damage.
Always keeping the University of Oklahoma in focus.
Campus in the clear right now.
OU Nightly weather, your campus weather authority.
Well, welcome back to OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us. It's been quite a rainy and, well, not really rainy, but dreary day outside. Overcast, clouds all across the sky, even still some few puddles down here on the sidewalk here. 57 degrees. We're still pretty wet as well. Dew point at 50 degrees. But looking outside, we're dry. Just a few showers out in northeastern Oklahoma. That's our storm system that we had rolling in yesterday, and it's dumping rain all across the United States here, all the way from Missouri into Kentucky. They're just seeing a ton of rain. And then down towards Florida, they're actually seeing some severe storms here, some stronger storms due to that same system we saw yesterday. But outside, we're looking nice, 50 degrees. Out in Guyman, they're really trying to push up into the 70s here. And then winds, we're seeing a north wind because we're on the backside of that system. And we do have winds from anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour. But as we go into tonight, we're starting in the 60s, and then we're going to cool down into the 50s. A pretty just mild night, nothing too crazy, not getting over crazy cold or anything. But we're going to talk about rain chances for tonight. We do have some spotty showers coming in tonight. We're going to have a 20% chance for western Oklahoma here in Elk City and Guyman. Like I said, it'll be very spotty, kind of a low chance for tonight. But we're talking lows too. We're seeing 40s across the state, and then even Guyman dipping down into the 30s. And then talking about tomorrow, we're going to heat up partially into the 70s. We're going to have a front move through about midday. So down in Idabel, they're sitting at 77 degrees, and out behind it, we're looking at the 50s. So with that, we are going to see, like I said, that rainfall going into Friday. Here's overnight tonight. There's a spotty showers, about a 20% chance, like I said. And then going into later, as that front moves through, a much higher chance for rain as they build up on that front. Even maybe some severe storms down in southeastern Oklahoma. That'll roll through going into Friday. And then Saturday, look at this. We're out towards our east. We're drying out by Saturday. Now, with that, pretty much 100% chance for everyone across the board. I mean, everyone's going to see rain with this system going into tomorrow. And with that, we do have that severe weather outlook. Nothing crazy here in Norman. We do have a marginal risk, but much higher risk here in central Texas. And like I said, the southeastern Oklahoma risk as well for some severe weather. For our air mass forecast, here's that system that just rolled through on Wednesday. We're seeing that cold air come in from behind it. That'll move off towards our east, and then we're pretty much calm for the next couple of days, and those warmer temperatures hang around for quite a while. But we have been warm, we have been moist, and here's our next system hanging out by California. We'll have to watch that going on later into next week. Now, as for our 7-day forecast, we're looking at 64 on Friday, that 100% chance of rain, and then we clear out just in time for Fill the Stadium. And then next week, we're looking at 70s across, and then even some 60s, and we do have that chance of rain going into next week. But like I said, we're drying out by Saturday. Maybe see some sunshine.
Well, thanks, Eli. You may have noticed we're all wearing these green ribbons. It's our way of honoring a former OU Nightly member.
Nicholas Nair, a former OU Nightly member who passed away this week last year. Nick was a meteorology major who was on our OU Nightly weather team.
And like many of us, Nick also worked production crew and our web team. He's still loved and missed by everyone at Gaylord and the School of Meteorology.
And the Norman Music Festival has finally arrived.
And there are so many artists coming to perform. Some of the performances include Black Belt Eagle Scout Illuminati Hotties and Mother Temple and so much more.
And tune in to OU Nightly tomorrow for a live interview with one of the artists. And with the spring game now behind us, some former Sooners have a big night ahead.
Kaylee Jo Hummel joins us now and has a look at what those former Sooners may be hoping for.
It's what some players have been dreaming of their whole lives, the NFL Draft. And the commitments keep rolling in for the OU football and basketball teams. I'll fill you in, coming up next in sports.
Prepared as your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane. You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Hello, I'm Kaylee Jo Hommel, and it's time for sports. The NFL draft starts tonight, and one former Sooner is hoping to hear his name called in the first round. Offensive tackle Anton Harrison looks to be the first Sooner drafted in the first round since 2020. Various media outlets have Harrison going from anywhere from pick number 15 to number 24. Eric Gray, Marvin Mims, and Jalen Redmond are among other OU players predicted to find their homes in the pros. With the Sooners entering the pros, this means some new faces are on their way to Norman. Today, four-star recruit Zion Kearney announced he's committing to the Crimson and Cream. The wide receiver keeps OU's recruiting trail hot, being the 5th commitment in the month of April and 6th from the 2024 class. And OU basketball is also adding to its roster. Guard Latrey Darthard announced his commitment to Oklahoma today. The Utah Valley transfer averaged nearly 14 points and almost 4 rebounds per game last season. He marks the squad's 4th addition this offseason through the transfer portal. After 2 cancellations, OU softball returns to Marita Hines Field this weekend to face Kansas. However, tomorrow's first pitch has been shifted back to 1 p.m. due to weather. The series opener against the Jayhawks celebrates senior weekend, honoring Grace Green, Haley Lee, Grace Lyons, and Alex Storako. OU baseball faces the same Big 12 opponent tomorrow, right here in Norman. The 6:30 p.m. contest against the Jayhawks has also been moved up to 12:30 p.m. due to weather concerns. The series continues into the weekend with games at 3 p.m. Saturday and 2 p.m. Sunday. And bouncing over to the NBA, former Sooner Austin Reeves makes the 3. He then comes back for the assist to LeBron James. Despite Reeves' efforts, Game 5 ended with the Grizzlies outlasting the Lakers 116-99. LA still leads the series 3-2, with Game 6 tipping off tomorrow night. And Trae Young's game winner not only upset the Celtics, but Janet Jackson fans too. The Hawks rallied from a 13-point deficit in the 4th quarter Tuesday night to force a Game 6 in Atlanta's State Farm Arena tonight, the same night as a Janet Jackson concert. Jackson fans don't have to wait too long. The concert has been moved to Friday instead. Young apologized to the pop legend on Twitter. Bailey Catherine, how would you feel if your favorite artist's concert was canceled?
I know, I'd be really upset if I didn't get to see Taylor Swift, my favorite artist. You just saw her though, didn't you?
I did. I was there this past weekend, and I would have been so disappointed if it got canceled. I'm very thankful it did not, because it was quite the concert.
Well, a beloved animal is back home after being in the U.S. for 20 years.
After the break, see which animal flew overseas.
To Sofia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
I'm Becca Yanez at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The U.S. Senate fails to waive the deadline to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment. It would have banned discrimination on the basis of sex under the Constitution. Republicans say that the amendment is not needed since the 14th Amendment already provides equal protections. Bailey, Catherine, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Becca. Yaya, a giant panda, has returned home to China after spending 20 years at the Memphis Zoo in Tennessee.
Yaya arrived in 2003 under a 20-year loan agreement with the Chinese Association of Zoological Gardens.
The panda left for her 16-hour journey home yesterday and landed in Shanghai early this morning.
And the Memphis Zoo held a farewell party for her earlier this month.
And before we go, let's get one last check on the weather.
Eli, will the sunshine stick around or will we have more rain chances ahead?
Yeah, we're looking at more rain chances, especially going into tonight. We do have a 20% chance for western Oklahoma. Storms or showers will be quite spotty, but as we move into tomorrow, we're looking more at pretty much 100% chance of rain for everybody. Everyone's going to see even more rain tomorrow. And like I said, on our 7-day, 100% chance of rain on Friday. Then we're looking at 70s and a couple more rain chances going into next week. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Eli, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Bailey Coyle.
And for the last time, I'm Catherine Liberta. Be sure to tune in tomorrow live at 4 for our final show of the semester. Good night.
If a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane, you can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need